Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1368A, and today's date is August 31st, 2017, and the title of the episode is Economic Indicators Plunge and Banks Move to the Blockchain. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the Brexit negotiations, they are ongoing right now, and they're on their third round of Brexit talks, and they've come to a close today, and it looks like they're going absolutely nowhere. I mean, they're insulting each other. They can't agree on anything. And we need to remember something very important. The central bank, they don't want the UK to leave. They don't want this Brexit to happen. And they're going to do whatever they possibly can to keep the UK within the central banking system. And we can see right now that they're just going back and forth. They are deadlocked, and nothing has changed at all. So right now, we are stuck where we are, and nothing is happening. Because they know, the central bankers, if they see a country leave their system, and they start to prosper, and they do much, much better, and they're not really involved with the central banking system, guess what's going to happen? People are going to look at this just like Iceland and say, wait a minute, why do we need the central banking system? The central banking system, that destroys countries. Countries flourish without the central banking system because the central banking system is separate and apart from the countries. They create the currency out of thin air, and then they loan the currency to the country with interest attached. And this is what's been happening for a very long time throughout Europe, here in the United States, Canada, Australia. All these countries, they're all part of the system. Now, here in the United States, we can see that the economy is completely falling apart, and we're looking at each and every indicator, and each and every indicator is continually imploding on itself. We see that real personal spending, well, that disappointed in July. Not really surprised about that. They thought that they were going to see a 0.4% bounce in July. However, the spending grew a lot less. It was around 0.2% month on month in July. It was way below expectations. And we can see that a lot of people, well, they're not saving money. Savings rates are down by 3.5%. This is the lowest since December of 2016. And as we move forward, we're starting to see that people are making less money. People are spending less money. People are saving less money. That means retail is not going to do well. Actually, this holiday season is most likely going to be a complete and utter disaster. Talking about retail, you know how the corporate media is out there and they're telling you how great Amazon is and how they're going to be the leader in retail and everyone is going towards Amazon because everyone wants to purchase from Amazon? Well, this whole story is kind of fake. And this is coming out of Moody's. A Moody's Investors Service saying that Amazon, well, they're not dominating the retail sector. It is actually the weakest of the big U.S. players. And they went on to say that, yes, the company is doing well, and it's because of their other things, their cloud service and other things. It's not just retail. If you strip everything else away, guess what? They're not doing as well. And what we're seeing right now is that Amazon includes their cloud business, their Amazon Web Services, and they're talking about the entire growth altogether from all of this. But we need to remember that online sales, they account for 8 to 10% of the overall U.S. retail sales. And we can see they're taking on the grocery segment, but this is much lower percentage. It's not going to be that big of a deal. And the big brick and mortar retailers like Walmart and all the others, well, they do a lot more retail than Amazon. So the whole thing is one gigantic myth that everyone is flowing towards Amazon. It's the Amazon effect. No, it is not, because what we're seeing is that retail is a $1 trillion business. And if the online business is only 8 to 10%, that's just a small little piece of what has been going on. We see the Chicago PMI. Well, they were expecting this nice bounce after a plunge in July, and guess what? It did not bounce, and we are in trouble at this point. We see that the employment indicator slipped for the third consecutive month in August, And we're starting to see a lot of economic indicators. Well, they're starting to fall apart. We see that rents, they are starting to plunge right now. In Chicago, what we're seeing is that there's a lot of people leaving Chicago, but this is coming out of Zumper's National Rent Report for August, saying that Chicago's rent, it has dropped by 13.7%. And when you look at 2 bedrooms, that has dropped by 15.7%. If you look at New York City, we're seeing the same exact thing. 1 bedrooms have dropped by 8.9%, and 2 bedrooms have dropped around 15% or so. And then if we look at other cities like Oakland, we see that this is down by 16%, Honolulu is down by 18%, and rents are dropping right now. And we can see that the whole housing industry, the rental markets, they're all starting to implode on each other. Now, the housing market, well, this hit a triple whammy. We know existing home sales are down, new home sales are down, and now we are seeing that pending home sales, they have slumped in July, dropping 0.8% month on month. Now, they were expecting a rise of 0.3%, completely missed it altogether. And what's very important about this is that during the summer months, this is the hot season, no pun intended, for real estate. And to have new homes, existing homes, pending home sales, all dropping at the same time, there is a major problem in the economy. Because we should see real estate booming at this time. People want to get into their homes before school starts. It's warm. Everyone can move in the warm weather. Everyone is kind of happy, and they want to move into their new house. Now, if it's this bad during the summer, what do you think is going to happen during the winter months? It's going to implode on itself. It's going to be absolutely horrific. Now, we talk a lot about cryptocurrency, and we understand that the central banks, they're going to be making their move to get into the crypto market. And we're already seeing some signs of this. The world's biggest banks, well, they aren't immune to the cryptocurrency euphoria. We can see that they are jumping on the bandwagon. Now, this is very interesting in what they're going to do. They're going to handle their transactions using the blockchain. And we can see Swiss bank, giant UBS, and 10 others are going to do this by using the blockchain technology. And banks like Barclays and HSBC are the latest to join the utility settlement coin. That's the USC. This is the project. This is what they're calling their project. And what they're going to do is they're going to basically use the blockchain to send funds back and forth. Now, this is the beginning stage of them getting into the blockchain. And of course, they're going to tell the public that they're part of the blockchain. You don't have to be going to Bitcoin. You don't have to be going to anywhere else. Just use us. And what they're saying is that each settlement coin would represent a fiat currency like euros or dollars on a one-to-one basis, and would thus be 100% backed by collateral at the domestic central bank. Now, we can see what they're doing here. They're getting into the market. They're going to be convincing everyone that it is completely safe, that the banks are controlling it, and it looks like this is how they're maneuvering their way into this system. And basically what is happening right now is as the economy breaks down, and there's many other countries where they're looking at cryptocurrencies and they're saying, you know, we don't have to be part of the central banking system. We can actually take our funds and bring it into the crypto world, and we can exchange using the cryptocurrency outside of the system. They don't want this to catch on. Right now, it's in the very, very beginning stages, and they don't want the rest of the public to start to catch on saying, you know something? Why am I keeping my money in the banks? There is no reason to keep my money in the banks. First of all, they're not paying any interest whatsoever. Actually, a lot of the banks are in negative territory, so I'm actually losing money. They're charging me a checking fee. They're charging me, any other type of fee. So why would I keep my funds in the bank? And when I go to the bank, I can't even get my funds out of the bank. So we can see right now they're trying to maneuver their way into this system, because they understand eventually what's going to happen as this breaks out, as the economy falters, as the dollar implodes on itself. People are going to be running in all different directions. And most likely they'll be running into gold and silver. They'll be running into the cryptocurrencies or both. And they want to make sure that they're a part of this and they're controlling what people are doing. So they're already starting the narrative. They're already starting these projects. And we can see eventually what they're going to try to do is take over the entire system, because they want to make sure that they have control of the entire system. They don't want to be outside of the system. This doesn't work for them. So what we're seeing from all the economic indicators, they are imploding right now, and it's continuing on. Nothing's getting better. Retail's not getting better. We're breaking down the myth of Amazon. We see real estate has a triple whammy. And as we move further into this year, it is just going to get worse and worse. It's not going to improve whatsoever. And this is why, once again, you need to be ready for what is coming. I know a lot of people are out there saying, well, I don't think it's ever going to come. I don't think this is what's going to happen here. Well, you can say that. People have said that back in 2008. A lot of people say that, a storm's not going to come. There's not going to be an earthquake. There's not going to be any type of natural disaster. But when it hits, and those people who are saying that, it's not going to happen and they're not prepared, guess what happens? They're running, trying to find anything they possibly can. Now, back in 2008, if you knew the subprime securities, that wasn't a good investment, and you had a house or something, and you knew that eventually the housing market was going to come down and we were at the height of the market, you might have sold at that time instead of being underwater in your mortgage, or maybe having a short sale or foreclosing on your home. This is why we've been tracking the economy. This is why we've been looking into it, to give everyone a heads up of what is happening. And again, the central bankers are going to blow the economy up as high as they possibly can, and then pull the carpet from under everyone, and everyone's going to be left sitting here going, what just happened here? That's how they do this. It doesn't take a day. It doesn't take 2 days to blow up the economy. It takes quite a while, because once you have a crash, it takes a while for the people to trust the system again. And this is why they need 6, 7, 8 years to do this. And this is what we've been seeing. Now, here we are at the end stages of this, and the central bankers realize that they can't do anything right now. We know the Rothschilds, we know banks, they're selling their stocks, they're dumping assets. We see they're moving into the crypto market. So you can see there's a lot of different signs that are letting us know that something is coming. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.